I like your shoes, where'd you get them from?
Yeah.
And then you say, I got them at Hot Topic. And I say, oh, do you go there often?
There
Look
it
at
is.
us, we're going.
Conversation. All right, so apparently you guys still have lives that you need advice for, so we're back. I'm here with Cutie this time.
I'm here, my first time ever.
First time
Thanks
ever.
for having me.
Of course.
Kind of rude you did this without me.
All
We'll
right.
deal with that later.
We'll figure it out. We'll get some advice
You'll get
for
some
it.
advice on how to mend our relationship.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
a lot of the things we're gonna focus on today of your guys' lives are things to do with stress.
Stress. It affects us all. And we've got a guy on the phone that's gonna be you know, asking for some advice. Needy Ned, wasn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question I have. What's your go-to song for stress relief?
Ooh. I feel like mine, as of right now, my song right now is probably 3005 by Childish Gambino.
Okay.
It's a good one. It just
a
has
good
a lot
one.
of just fun lyrics to just like kind of just
Do you
shout
like
around.
bee-boop around to it?
I do bee-boop around to it
Yeah,
on occasion.
it's a good call. I listen to anything Taylor Swift. I'm going to her concert 3 times.
Ooh.
So I'll be very de-stressed.
That'll be the most relaxed you've ever
Yeah,
been.
it'll be great. Anything Taylor it puts me in the right mood, so.
Absolutely.
What is an out-of-the-box tactic you use to relieve stress?
I would say I pace a lot. I just kind of like walk around back and
Okay.
forth, just thinking, just like fully.
Like a
just
border
like-
collie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just kind of mentally processing everything that I need to.
I do a lot of different things. Baking is a go-to for
baking's
me.
good. Yeah.
I really like baking. I like doing crafts, bad TV in the background while I'm just like building a Lego set.
Okay, so what else do you need?
Simple question. What do I do with my life? I'm going to college for baking and pastry arts management, but then what?
I used to be a pastry chef. I think a lot of times people get overwhelmed with knowing where to start, especially in the food industry, because you want to go in there and you want to be head chef. You want to be, you know, it's important to know that like a lot of the time you have to work your way up. I wanted to be the wedding cake designer and I didn't get that job. I was the bread shift. I would go to the bakery at like 5 a.m. or 3 a.m., get all the bread done and then leave. So every single weekend, I would decorate wedding cakes on styrofoam and I'd bring them into my chef and I would say, look at this, and then eventually became the wedding cake designer. So it's all about just as long as you have your end goal in mind, you can start anywhere.
Do you feel that unplugging from everything helps you lower your stress?
In some cases, yes. I would say in most cases, yes. But like, there's also like sometimes like the fear of just like, oh my God, what if there's something happening? Because I have like major FOMO.
I get the nervousness of like losing relevancy, but I'm getting over this. I just took 2 months off. It was actually amazing.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to set limiters on your phone for how long you can be on social
absolutely,
media.
yeah.
We're all addicted a little bit, so
A
I think
little.
it's good to put parameters on that for yourself. Hold yourself accountable, it'll make it easier.
How do I make my cat sleep on my bed? Guy's very insistent about sleeping anywhere but my bed, and I know he'd be much more comfortable on the bed.
Oh, have you tried going pss, 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 pss?
Yeah, that usually works. I don't have a cat, so I don't know.
We're taking a lot of questions today. Fun ones,
Weird ones,
serious ones,
stressful ones.
stressful ones. Speaking of stress, today's video is sponsored by Truth. We learned that vaping nicotine can increase stress levels. If you're trying to quit, check out the link in the description.
How do I tell my parents I don't want to pursue the major and career they want me to? They want me to become a doctor. I want to be an astrophysicist.
Whoa, jeez.
Explain to them that astrophysicist is still cool as hell. Like, come on. Like, I thought you were gonna say like, you know, like actor, like, you know, a job or a field that's really hard to get into. Astrophysicist is still
very cool.
awesome and still very successful.
Just make a PowerPoint telling them that being a doctor is cringe.
I'm assuming that astrophysicist means like, you know, meteors and everything, right? So it's just like, think about like the amount of lives that you would save as a doctor versus the amount of lives that you would save as an astrophysicist preventing a meteor from crashing
We
into
all
Earth.
watched Armageddon and you could save us.
Exactly.
You could be our Will Smith.
You could be our big space doctor.
Is Will Smith in Armageddon?
I have no idea.
Am I thinking Men in Black?
I just quit my job, and I'm thinking about starting an independent hair salon. What should I name it?
What should I name it?
That was difficult. Hold on.
What if we mess it up and they
What
go
if,
out
yeah,
of
what
business
if, oh my
before they
God,
even open?
this is important.
Harry Styles. What do you think?
That's a good one, actually. That one's a
Yeah.
really good one. It's probably not copyrighted.
No.
Should I get a pet duck? Yes or no? I need advice.
I had a duck growing up.
So
His name was Larry the Duck.
Was it worth it? Was Larry the Duck worth it?
I turned out fine. Get the duck.
Get the duck.
Ned, now you have yourself a duck. I think you've had your life together now.
Yeah, great work, Ned.
Next question.
What's the best way to stick to a goal?
I would say that it's to create like small amounts of pressure.
Right,
so, it's
so
just
set
like,
micro goals for a big
exactly.
goal.
So you're just like, I have to get this done by this day, or I have to get this done by this day. Use that, you know, like stress and everything in order to like try to like push you in order to get it done. I notice that when I don't have like a specific goal for something, then it's very, very hard for me to like sometimes finish things.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have to do this for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you don't worry about it, yeah.
Until, you know, it's like a couple days before and you're like, whoops.
What's another question?
How do I start talking to new people? I'm about to go to a new school, so I have to learn how to start a conversation.
I mean, I would say just like try to find common interests. Yeah.
I think compliments are a really good way to start talking to people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Make sure they're not creepy. Don't be like, I like your teeth. I've tried that, it doesn't work well.
Really? Damn, okay.
Yeah, don't do that. But you know, like maybe they're wearing something with a Pikachu on it and you can be like, oh, yeah. I like Pokemon. Who's your favorite Pokemon? Always start with a compliment, lead with a question.
Yeah.
I'll look everywhere. I'll be like, okay, I like your shoes. Where'd you get them from?
Yeah.
And then you say, I got them at Hot Topic. And I say, oh, do you go there often?
And there
Look
it is.
at us, we're going.
Conversation.
Amazing.
There it is.
I say that, but like half the time I'm always like,
hi.
Hi.
Is streamer burnout real?
Yes.
Yes. Humans are not meant to deal with the opinions of a lot of people just launched at them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people will be like, oh, well, celebrities existed for a long time, and it's like, yes, but like I probably can't talk to Margot Robbie if I wanted to.
No.
But I could go in your chat and I could give you $5 and
Yeah,
you would have to
exactly.
see my message, and even if I don't give you $5, your job is to read my message in chat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all about finding a balance, which admittedly, probably we haven't succeeded at.
It's hard to find it.
Yeah, I haven't
Like,
found it yet.
You can definitely make progress towards it, but it's a very, very hard thing to achieve.
I don't know how to deal with the burnout, so don't ask me.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
So which superhero deals with stress the best?
Oof.
You're a big superhero nerd.
Okay, well, a little
Nerd
bit.
alert.
A little bit. They all seem to make pretty big mistakes whenever they're stressed.
They all seem pretty stressed.
Yeah, I guess Spider-Man did have to deal with like everyone in his life forgetting who he was. That's pretty stressful.
Yeah, that's pretty stressful.
He didn't just kind of disappear off the face of the earth, so he dealt with that pretty well.
Yeah, the Hulk doesn't deal with stress well.
He doesn't deal with stress
He gets
well at all.
big.
Yeah, he just gets really big and green,
really
and then kind of punches.
I think the Green Lantern, because everyone forgets about him, and that's stressful.
That's true.
And his movie was really, really bad.
Oh, poor guy.
And that's really stressful.
Yeah, I hope he's dealing with it well.
I hope he is too. You know what he didn't do to deal with his stress?
What?
He didn't vape nicotine.
That's true.
Special thanks to Truth for sponsoring this video. They understand how important mental health is, especially in gaming. And we all use gaming for stress relief.
Absolutely.
Vaping nicotine can actually increase your stress levels. To learn more, click on the link in the description below and check out This Is Quitting from Truth at thetruth.com/misfits.
How do you take heavy information from a friend or family member?
For me, it's like you have to make sure that you find time to process it, but you also have to make sure that you find time to like sort of distract yourself from it, to not allow it to be your sort of like only thought.
I think it's always important to remember that it's not your baggage to carry either. Like if Rand calls me and you know he tells me all these things that happened, his mom got laid off and he's really, really stressed. My job in that scenario is not to also be bogged down.
Yeah.
My job is to see, how can I help?
Yeah.
What can I do for you to help you? And did you just need to talk about it? Because if you just needed to talk about it, then I just did that. And I need to take the pressure off yourself. You're there to support. You're not there to carry.
Yeah.
What do I do if I feel like I'm outgrowing my friends?
Gasp.
Yeesh. Well, first off, communication with friends is very important. You know, if they're not willing to communicate with you or if they're not doing it, then it's just like, you might just have to like branch out a little bit. I would say that like dropping people, don't do that. Unless they're like unhealthy or like toxic for you to be around.
Sometimes you gotta know when to walk away.
Sometimes it's good to like sort of like branch out, like get to like know new friends and everything.
I think knowing that, you know, life is in phases is really important to know. Like if you're outgrowing your friends, they could just be in different phases in life. Doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean you're a bad person.
And like, you know, people drift apart sometimes. It kind of happens.
Just all about communication. Don't box them out. Just be like, you know what? I don't think I'm into Hot Wheels anymore.
Yeah.
And you keep having Hot Wheels tournaments every weekend and I don't want to be in them anymore.
That does sound kind of sick.
It sounds really fun.
That sounds really cool.
I'll throw an event.
Oh, please do.
Okay.
Please do.
What's been the best way for you to be able to keep yourself going with making content over time. I've always found myself having difficulties keeping at a schedule or something like that.
What's your schedule? What do you do every day?
I pretty much just like, it depends on mainly how I'm like feeling and everything. So I feel like forcing myself, I once streamed 200 days straight, and it was
that's pretty good.
It was like, you know, good for like numbers, good for all of that and everything, but then I was like, I didn't realize how burnt out I was until I took my first ever break day, and I was like, wow, it really stressed me out having to like, you know, basically make my entire life plan around like going live.
Something that's interesting when it comes to content creation, something I've done is I hired like a data engineer, and he found the day that I get the least amount of views no matter what, notoriously. That is now my day off. And that's how amazing. I justify it in my brain, is I'm like, I'm not missing out on anything. This is my bad day anyway. And so if you can find ways to force yourself to take time off and a way that makes you feel fine about it, do that. If you see yourself grinding too much. I now, no matter what, I take Fridays off, and that seems to help me a ton. So even just starting there, like if you're in too deep, you know, let's reset and just at least find one day off.
I feel like in order to have like a good like content schedule, I feel like breaks
you have to have breaks.
A very important part.
Otherwise you'll end up like me and take 2 months off, and then you're gonna like, How
do I unblock my art block?
Random prompts usually help me.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, like literally random word generators can like actually really help with just coming up with random ideas, or like you like get like a 3-word generator or something and you try to like draw something based off of it or something. Like those usually actually like really help me out. Sometimes when I'm like not sure about like a direction or something, I just keep on refreshing until like something like triggers that like spark in my mind basically.
Yeah, that's smart. I say consume. That's where I get most of my inspiration. I'll be like looking at cakes, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, wait, what if I took this piece from this cake and this and this and then make that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It can come from anywhere, so give your mind just places to roam.
Consume, Just follow what you like, and then usually you'll be inspired.
What advice would you give to up-and-coming creators on handling the stress of popularity?
The biggest advice I have is setting your boundaries early.
Oh, absolutely.
Very early.
Yeah.
Like being careful about your name, being careful about where you live. Those are all catalysts to causing something that's much more stressful.
Yeah.
Like keeping yourself safe.
And I would say, don't go out of your way to find what people are saying about you. Because it is very easy to like fall into it as almost like a habit. It's an analogy that I always use where it's like, if you give anyone on earth a megaphone, and if you give enough people a megaphone, eventually someone's just gonna make a fart noise. Eventually someone's just gonna say something that just like is just entirely incorrect and out there, but they still also have the same booming voice of the megaphone essentially. So if you don't give people that opportunity to like go like actively search it out, then like it's honestly like the sense of like ignorance is bliss in some cases.
No, I agree. At first you kind of get addicted to that. Like you like wanna check, you wanna see what people are saying.
Yeah.
But I promise you it's better to, you need to figure out what you're doing.
Exactly.
They don't need to tell you.
Yeah.